What's up, everybody? It's time. It's time for week 3. Let's do our live, huh? Let's get it going. Let's get the other two on here. Let's get this party started. Here we go. There's Timothy. Next Bobble's in here. What's up, everybody? Get everybody on. There's Bobble Foo.
What's going on? What's going on? How's everybody doing?
What's up? What's up? It's a good night. Good night tonight. Good night tonight. Big stuff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Feeling good.
What's
Hey,
up, boys?
Everybody
How we
on.
doing?
What's up?
Good, good. How's everybody?
Yeah, that was pretty smooth considering I was rushing around there the last few minutes. So good.
What are you rushing around doing?
I had to move out to like my little wall thing. I should throw my glass cleaner off of there, but my little wall of cleats because I got the big bobble room getting a little bit of some adjustments going on in there. So I had to do some of this tonight. All right, what are you guys up to today? All right.
Well, I
A lot of
golf,
work stuff.
So it was a pretty nice day.
All right.
A lot of work stuff, man. How's your guys' day been? Everybody here in chat, has it been one of those days for you all? It's been a crazy one for sure for me.
All right, let's get everything going here. So let's start to get going. So let me introduce myself. We're going to start introducing ourselves every show. So I'm NorCal Nodders. My name's Rob in real life, but NorCal Nodders on here. You'll see me at 33 Customs as well. That's how I do my custom bobbleheads. Just put a name on that. And so go around the horn. All right, who wants to go next?
Yo, I am the Bobble Fool. I am based out of Los Angeles, California. I am a big, avid, huge Dodger bobblehead collector. However, I do collect anything that does bobble as well.
Nice. That's a good intro. That's better than my intro.
That was a good intro. Now I'm nervous. What's up, everybody? 510 My name is Mark as well, or not as well. In real life, my name is Mark, but you can call me 510 Bobbles. I collect A's bobbleheads, Warriors bobbleheads. That's about it right now, but we'll see what happens if the A's bobblehead thing starts to slow down.
Yeah, can it get any slower or what?
Ugh, dude.
All right, let's start it off. So what's going on? Anything new? Anybody got any new mail days or anything like that this week? Anything exciting happen?
Just because of last week's show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh!
Yes. As soon as we got off last week's episode, I went ahead and bought this little bad boy.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Stomper.
And then
Yes.
went over there and broke your heart and told you you only got half of it, bro.
Yeah, man. Now I have to get the other half.
Yeah,
but yeah,
man, that's one half of a package there. You got to get
Yes,
the Crosby.
Dude, I know, and it sucks because it's like if you're gonna do mascots, well, the mascot's pretty cool, but like the other half's not a mascot, so it's like I mean it's all right, but still same thing, you know. Trying to keep in a theme or something like that didn't really work. But Mark, you get anything?
No, man, it's been a slow week. I mean, I guess the good thing is I saved some money this week, but no, I'm waiting on still waiting on that Tony Kemp to come through. Waiting on a couple other things to come through, but no, nothing this week.
Well, I went down probably a rabbit hole. I started doing the Mac Dre bobbleheads.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but they're a little pricey. Luckily, I got this one for $50, but like they're like 100 plus. So, but it's Oakland related, so I don't know. I just my mind, so we'll see what happens.
You know, quick story. When I was it's probably almost 20 years ago, I was working in the rental car business, and Mac Dre's mother came in to rent a car, and I helped her out.
Oh, nice.
And it was right around the time that one of his first bobbleheads had come out.
Yeah.
And she gave me one.
Oh, damn.
And it didn't go with anything I really did, so I ditched it, and joke's on me.
Yep. Wow. Don't you hear when that happened? Oh my God.
Terrible.
And I have a story coming later when we get down the road with our guests and stuff. But yeah, I've had that happen a few times. And the only other thing this week, I finally got this All-Star. I collect all the All-Star statues and all that stuff. So I do the American League stuff, and anything has an A's logo on it. So this is pretty cool to me because this is a little bit of a pricey piece. And so I'm almost done. I think I need is the Statue of Liberty, and then I'll have American League Statue of Liberty, and I should be good with all the.
I was about to ask you about that too.
Yeah, that's the last piece I have. I have the arch with the American League arch. I have all the stuff with the A's logo on it, but the thing I'm missing is
What
that.
about the cactus leagues? Do you have all the cactuses and all that stuff too?
Yeah, I got all the spring training. I even got the piggy banks. They even had piggy banks a piggy bank for spring training too. So I got that.
There you go.
They actually had a bobblehead, but it's like a generic. It didn't have like any teams on it, nothing like that. And so yeah, it's a cool little set. Like I said, the All Stars. Yeah, the spring training was tough alone, but I bought out a guy who had most of them anyway. So it's pretty cool to get the All Star set. This is pretty cool to me. I like this. I think it's a really cool piece, personally.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So
just real quick.
What's
Just real quick. Yeah, real quick. I did want to bring up a couple of things that are happening this month, which is pretty cool. I love seeing all this stuff in celebration of different things that do occur within sports. It is Black History Month, so I did see shout outs. With the Dodgers, they did a whole thing with Jackie Robinson, Roy Campanella, Jim Gilliam, and all that good stuff. So I love seeing that. There's a new Funko Pop that just came out that everyone's going crazy about with Jackie Robinson. I don't really so much collect Funko Pops, but if it's like sports related and if it's Dodgers related, I'm getting it.
That's sick, dude. Yeah, like I said, it's Dodgers related, but that's pretty tight though. I should have took a look at it, but that's the A's had two Funkos. They had actually we're getting another one this year. I think that's what we're getting. But we had two. We had Stomper and Chris Davis, but and they're okay, but everybody converts them over to something else. There's some pretty sick customs on the Funkos. I had realized to me it seems like pretty tough, but people do all nice stuff on those. So
100%. I'm sure the A's did something also special for.
Yeah, so today they tweeted out for their first African American Golden Glove recipients was Mike Norris and Dwayne Murphy. Well, I had done a special live signing. Well, it was live to us, but not live to everybody. We did 100 of these. Mike Norris celebrating his Golden Glove, which is what they're tweeting about today. And he signed every one of them, put the number on there and everything like that.
Yep.
We're actually we're working on another piece for him. These the next one's going to raise money for his. He has like an inner city youth baseball type program type thing going on, and he's going to do the one where he's got his leg kicked up. He has pretty. He was an all-star and everything else, and he had a pretty, highs and lows pretty good, but he's a pretty awesome dude. I mean, he is about as most transparent. He talked. Mark was on but I think both of you guys might have been on the live possibly when he did.
Yeah, I was there.
But dude, I mean, he loves to talk baseball. He's like knows baseball in and out, and he lights up when kids come around and stuff like that. And so, I like to celebrate those, not just because of African American, History Month, but I like to celebrate the old players even as well. And he's got stories beyond everything, so it's just really, really cool thing. So yeah, that was kind of coincidental. They tweeted that today. We kind of got on today, so that was cool.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful to see, man. Another thing that I did notice that did happen this month, about 6 days ago, is the National Girls and Women's in Sports Day, which is super cool. Yeah. And we did talk about this, off camera, with the AAGPBL bobblehead. So major shout out. There's a community for you all out there as well, so which is dope. There's a Facebook group out there, and with all these bobbleheads, which is pretty amazing. It's always great to see stuff like that.
Yeah, that's slick, man. I love it. And those collections are pretty legit. Like I've seen some people have like full, I guess full sets. I don't know what a set, I don't know what everything is, but there's been pretty serious collectors on just that series of stuff, and that's tight, man. It's good to see that, basically.
Yeah, for sure. We'll get them in. And then just one thing that I did want to announce that I saw today that just dropped. There is an Eric Gagne signing coming up March 20th.
Oh, nice.
Which I know a lot of Dodger fans are going to go crazy for. I already have a couple of pieces that I know I'm going to get signed, and more than likely I might head out there. So it's going to be near the Anaheim area over, I think it's Placenta. I can't even pronounce it, but it's in the nearing areas of cities of Anaheim and Fullerton.
Nice.
So I can't wait for that. Yeah, and I think they're also having a Jose Canseco sighting out there
Yeah.
this month.
He'll sign anywhere. He throws some money at him.
Yeah.
All right. So today's special day today. Our guest popped up on here. So we're gonna have a guest today. We're gonna try to have guests every time. I'm gonna let him on right now, and then kind of go over. We're gonna start talking best we can, get a guest on every week, and kind of get in. I know I'm kind of rushing through everything, but kind of going together. It's our first time doing this. What's up, Andy?
Yo, what up, my dudes? What's poppin'?
Dude,
What's poppin'? What's poppin'?
Andy, what's up, man?
Face,
Yo, I know I'm a loud dude, but could y'all hear me okay? Is this okay?
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
Loud and clear.
Yo, I'm honored to be the first guest. I'm not the fourth person on the Mount Rushmore, but y'all three are definitely up there. So I really appreciate you taking some time to want to bring me on. I was so excited. Rob was like, "You want to come on?" Like, I didn't even hesitate. I think I responded like 15 seconds. So I'm like, "Yes."
Well, there's a lot of pressure though, dude. So don't be nervous, all right?
I'm sitting on the floor. I don't have like even a chair. I'm right now. So, but I want background. Yo, before we talk about me, I just want to say, yo, BF, Bobble, like you're gonna be my new BFF. Like,
Let's go.
The variety and the depth and diversity of your collection, man. I don't know if anybody has like the quantity that you also have quality, which is so super cool. Yo, Mark, you're like me, where like our living rooms have taken over.
Exactly, dude. I mean, if I can't live with my bobbleheads, I don't know who I want to live with.
Right, your Catmans too, man. Like I don't have any Catmans, but like I'm so jealous of your Catmans. Like I want to get a couple, and of course,
Thanks, bro.
NorCal. Can we swear on this thing or no? Is this
Fuck no. No, I'm just kidding.
Dude, go like NorCal. I call him you're the number one collector. He's not gonna admit it, but he truly is. The two guys on the show will probably agree with me. NorCal is number one in this.
Yep.
Nah.
I will fight anybody to the death on that.
Let's go.
Dude, I'm glad I binge mode you that $100, bro. Thanks. That was cool. That was worth it. That was perfect, dude. I'm glad you read the script perfectly. Thanks, homie.
Right.
So what's up, dude? What's life out there? Oh, go ahead. I'm talking.
I got my Guardians hat on. I'm trying to trigger some people.
Hey.
So how's that going, dude? Is the transition going good or what?
Dude, I'm one of these people, like, you can call them the unicorns. I don't care. I just want them to win. But then you got all these people complaining because, like, for example, like the Cleveland just came out with their promos, and like they have like like last year they did a Snoopy, right, and it had Indy. Now they're gonna have Charlie Brown. It's gonna say Guardians, and people already complain. And I'm like, yo, look at those brothers. They don't even get anything. Like, be fortunate that you're getting something. So
yeah, really.
Yeah. So. Damn. I'm at your disposal. Whatever y'all want to ask me, I'd be willing. I got some bobbleheads I'm going to show later, kind of help understand my collection, because it's definitely it's not bobble foods like that, but like it's definitely has a wide selection of like my likes and what I appreciate and the steps I've gone through in life. So
well, we're gonna kind of go around the horn, kind of ask kind of lead into whatever else, and kind of I'll start it off, but dude, like. I have mad respect for you, like your knowledge and we had a little bit of a similar philosophy. I mean, you go around, bumping into everybody, talking to everybody, and I love that. I mean, that's kind of like what I like to do as well, and try to help out and this and that. And so I want to thank you too, because you promote within as well, and that's sincerely it's appreciated. You know what I mean? So. Oh,
dude, so people got so many great collections. I know I'm gonna leave some people out, but I want. My man Bobble Sniper, I call him like the public servant of the hobby. That
right
is, he preaches patience. Like, don't hop on that bobblehead after the season, wait months. Like, and he gives really good advice.
Right.
I know he just shout out my St. Louis dudes, Nia and STL Bobbleheads. They're OG dudes. Yeah. I would love to see both of them on the collection because they really awesome collections. Another guy that I think has an awesome collection is Patriots Bobblehead, because he customizes a lot of his pieces. Like, I hate Tom Brady, right? But like his are so awesome, and he's in like I think Ireland, so like everything he gets has to be shipped overseas, and it's really cool. And it's like even like I told him, like, dude, you need an Instagram page. Then he got one. Same with Dr. Bobble. I've been telling him for like 2 years. Dude, I'm like,
yeah.
So, and then I see my man Yankee, another guy. I don't like the Yankees, but Yankees Jets fan. That's another like collector. So like you get community, and like I love showing the love and support. Like I love seeing all these collections. I'm like, dude, like let's see it. Like people post, I'm like, I want to see what's in your background. I want to see.
Yeah. But like everybody, you start looking in the back and everything else. You don't look at what's up on display,
Right.
So, I haven't even got on track yet. So let's start with the simple stuff, man. So what's up? What are the grails? What you got? So we talked a little bit yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And I know a little bit. The funny thing is, I'm supposed to be strictly Oakland, but I like all kinds of shit. But you guys have some unique things out there that I knew about before, but I didn't know some of the terminology. But tell me, do like a rundown. What's the grails? I mean, you collect every sport, right? I mean, even football.
90% of my collection is probably baseball when it relates to Cleveland and NorCal. We were talking about this yesterday, and I was just thinking about this. And I consulted with we have a group, Ohio Bobblehead Connect, that's only open to Ohio residents. But in my opinion, the grails of Cleveland Bobblehead have to be the Cleveland Cavalier halftime bobble.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people outside, they don't know what that is, and what it is about 10 years ago or so, Cleveland started giving away, bobblehead, like stadium giveaways. Like you'd have like a LeBron James in a white jersey. But every time they would give away one of those bobbleheads, put 50 away and have a special design for for LeBron, it was a gold LeBron. Anderson Varejao had Cavs. I'm holding a basketball in my Cavs jersey. But the special halftime was of him in his Brazil Olympic jersey. And so these bobbleheads, they were only 50 given out, and you had to win like a raffle to win it. You had to enter in a raffle like a tax, and you could only get them during the halftime.
Wow.
Yeah, like one of them, another one's a Mo Williams, his alter ego, Fogra. I don't even know what that is. But the Cavs halftime bobbleheads, the original ones, are probably the hardest to get. Now, in the past couple years, they're much more easier to get. Like there's one with Larry Nance in a Myles Garrett jersey with a foam finger, or Austin Carr in his broadcasting suit. Those become much easier because the Cavs realize, oh my God, people love those things. Let's make more of them. And then they, say, you buy this and you get a special ticket. NorCal, we were talking last week about Darius Garland. They gave away a special ticket of him, but you had to buy a $250 seat. I'm like, sorry, thank you, but $250 worth. I would say that. And then as far as the Indians or Guardians, and Mark, I know you have a post about this. It's the Statue of Liberty, the Mickey Mouse, the Apple on Parade, those that are desired by a lot of teams that have the Chief Wahoo. That is a lot. Like Rob, we're talking about the spring training stuff, like anything with the cat. Yeah. Like the Indians collectors are diehard about having anything with that Chief Wahoo. And I'll tell you what, those Statue of Liberties, if you have them, you could easily get $500, $600, $700, $800 for those.
That's crazy.
$1,000. Yeah, it's insane, and they're hard to get for sure. So
on those sorry I interrupted, but on those halftime ones, so like I went through Worthland trying to find, because I was trying to get some examples. So I like a Channing Frye one, right? It was that team, and they have like a plastic case, right, with them.
Yeah.
Like a hard case. So those, you said they're about 50, I couldn't remember. I know you texted me, and I'm sorry I didn't have the numbers.
Oh, you're good.
Some of the numbers were something like very low numbers, right? 50-ish, or maybe you said it.
Those original ones, like LeBron Gold Painted, was 50. The Fogra was 50. There's a Deion Waiters in his Syracuse jersey, not the Cavs jersey, 50 made. So scarcity of them is what makes them highly desirable.
Yeah, and they're like $500 a pop. Like this Channing Frye, which I don't even know when the last time it sold. I forgot what it was, but in 2017, it was $500 2017.
Right. They're listen, Cleveland collectors, it's a great community, and they help you out, but they're diehards. Like, don't get it. Like, they get that stuff, they hold on to it. I'm sure Bobble can attest to the Dodger stuff too, because while there's a lot of it, like with Cleveland, there are some of those pieces that are just like the seats. You have those, like the Dodgers.
Yep.
People are crazy about those. I see them all very similar to that.
Yeah, those are tight.
Yeah, they're expensive too.
They're
pricey.
Liberties. I'm hoping like one day, like a collector will just be like, make it in a bundle deal, and then because I work like a couple part-time jobs. That's how I spend my bobblehead money. So hopefully, maybe one day I can come across.
You're a DJ, bro. You're a DJ. It's not just part-time job, dude. You're a DJ, homie.
Yeah, I'm a full-time journalist, part-time wedding DJ. So, and then I work for the schools, one of the local schools here, doing announcing as well. So
if I ever get remarried, dude, you're my DJ for my.
Well, I got
Right?
If I ever get remarried, I was gonna say when you renew your vows, right?
Well, that's what I meant. Same thing, dude. I already did it once, some other foreign country or something like that.
So I do have a couple Indian grails. I will show you. I don't want to
see it, dude.
So one of them is like the Akron gave out some nice bobbleheads. One is like a Manny Ramirez bubble.
Nice.
That is clean.
That's tight.
That is.
This is given out about 10 years ago, and this one is rare. It cost me about $100-$150, but you can't find them anywhere. And another rare one in that set was Jim Tomei, like at a fielding stance. And then
What's up with? Oh, wait, he's back.
And then another rare Indians grail would be the John Adams.
Yeah, you showed me that when you bought that. That's tight.
That's nice.
John Adams has gone through the past couple years, so he hasn't been at the games, but the dude's been at every game since like the mid 1970s, and his dad was doing it before in the old municipal stadium. So
That's crazy.
Yeah. So those are a couple of the grails that I wanted to show y'all, fellas.
And those are on that Akron. So what's up with this? So I have a couple things, but like this Cocoa Crisp is Akron Arrows. What's up with the price on this sucker, dude?
Oh, dude, that was one of I was about to. That's crazy that you had that because that was one I pulled out. Dude, it's just these Akron old ones. They're hard to get, but like I know this isn't a Fat Boy, but I love the Fat Boy. I'm pretty sure AGP made this, and I know AGP watches. These are just some quality pieces, and like you guys in Oakland, we love Cocoa Crisp in Cleveland, man. He came back and was on that last World Series team. Yeah. It's just Cleveland people. They're so passionate, like Oakland fans and Dodger fans, but a little different in the Midwest because, really when it's baseball season, like that's what it is out here. Like everybody's wrapped up in it. So I just think it's because people have just a love for the hobby and a love for the sports combined. It's really not selfish. Like I said, like people don't price gouge. Just fine. So yeah.
Well, you're talking about your Mac Dre thing, Mark. And so I was gonna be like, oh, you know what? I'm a Coco fan, but it's not an A's piece and this and that. So I let a dude have it for like $30. Well, then I realized that like I really want the thing, so I had to go back and get it, dude, and it cost me like $100 something bucks, dude. I'm like, what the hell, man? Like I was back up.
Brutal.
Oh, it was
that
terrible.
hurts. That hurts.
Andy, I'm excited to have you on the show, man. I even wore my Lou Brown shirt for you.
Dude,
you got a Lou Brown bobble?
I do have that. So like the major league. So this is Willie Mays Hayes, man.
Let's go.
The major leagues, they're not hard to find, but they're very expensive because who doesn't those movies? Those movies are awesome.
Right.
So much widespread appeal. They're like this one probably values between $100 to $150. Now like your Jake Taylor, like $500 to $600.
Yeah, I love that.
That's probably a solid $70, and that's only low because it's more recent. But like the Jake Taylor bobbleheads, $600-$700 easy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Give or take.
And those are, I mean, the thing about those is like, yeah, they're Indians bobbleheads, but that movie is such like a legendary baseball movie that all baseball fans are gonna want to go after those. So look at even the bobble food.
Dude, look, the one.
Well,
awesome.
There's one. There's a Rick Vaughn that is like super rare. It's kind of hard to find.
Yeah. My man.
I almost bought it. I almost bought it for like $80, and I waited like 2 minutes, and they snagged it. I'm like, oh my god! And then I'm kicking myself in the ass to this day.
My man, that's sold one for $1,000. So
yep.
Yeah.
All right, Andy, try and stay with me here. I got 3 questions for you.
All right. Yep.
How many bobbleheads do you have in your collection? What's your favorite? And do you have any crazy stories in terms of how you acquired any bobbleheads?
All right. So I have about 400, I would say.
Damn.
Probably one of my favorites. I'm going to show this one. Now it's a little beat up, but like, all right. So this one, So This is my dad. One of my dad's first bobblehead when he had was a kid, and like his office is he's a big Baltimore Orioles fan, and he gave it to me, and he's like he almost threw it out at the kid because he dropped his head. He's like, but
yeah.
Oh wow!
But like I love it. Like just like honestly, like, this is my favorite one, because
That's
like
awesome.
I started with in the hobby. I was like, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. So then like one day when I finally settled down and got a place, I'm like, I'm gonna have a bobblehead collection. So like I got this one in a prominent spot. And then my mom, and my dad loved the hobby. So like my mom gave me this one. This is like my first teddy bear.
Oh, sweet.
For our birthday like a year ago. So that's Mr. D, Miss for December, because I was born in December. So
very cool.
Mr. D, like something else.
Yeah.
I have a Mr. D, the other Mr. D, the Bobble D.
As far as crazy stories, man, like I would offer, like I went to Bowling Green State, so I got my BG bobblehead here. So I just wanted, because this is I went to Bowling Green State, which is it's by Toledo, Ohio, and which is an hour south of Detroit. And I would be paying people like $20 because I didn't have them. I was like, give me $20 for this bobblehead. When people got it, because they were just giving out like 5 or 6. I want them.
Right.
People thought crazy. I'm like, no, I just want them. I want them. I waited like 3 hours in line for like one of the Star Wars Freddie Falcon ones.
Oh yeah.
But as far as crazy stories, no, like I give away bobbleheads too. Like my buddy, he goes to the University of Dayton and he lives with a guy. He's like a huge Pittsburgh fan. I'm like, yo, you ain't bobbleheads? Like, no. So I went on the like line. I went like, yo, this guy, give me like 4 bobbleheads for like $50. So then I shipped. So it's like I like helping like build collections. My mom, she loves Onion, the mascot. So I'm like, Mom, come up. We'll go to the Indians game when they're giving out Onion the bobblehead. And then like she got a picture with Onion holding her Onion bobblehead. So like.
Nice.
Never embarrassed about the passion. Like everyone around me, I know so many people in my area. So like I deal with all these like teenage kids at the school. Like literally, like I know hundreds of them, and like they all know I love bobbleheads, and I'll talk about it with them. People like show us your pictures of your bobbleheads. So like I bring people up to my apartment to see it. It's just a great conversation piece. So like as far as like crazy stories, no, but like I hope I don't have like a scorned ex that like would come up here and would like so nervous.
Oh, that's good. That's good stuff. Awesome.
You got an expansion coming though. I saw.
What's that?
You got an expansion coming though in your display
yeah.
though.
Yeah, so it's so funny because people are like, oh, you're gonna have to like live in different apartments so your bobbleheads can live in your apartment. Like, nah. So I got this back. So like, if you could, this is my collection here. Like, so these are all custom cases. So as you room. So I got a back wall that I'm looking at right now that I want to expand on. So the guy's funny because I just talked to him and I said, can you make me some more cases? And he didn't even say sure. He's like, you got room. He's got jokes and all that. So
that's funny
for sure. So
cool. Yeah. Well, I have a question as well. I know you said you collect anything Cleveland, but you know how I am. Is there any other type of like teams out there that you'd want to collect that you would probably try to get into? If there's any other teams that kind of catches your eye and stuff like that.
So like I love customs. Like I know a lot of people aren't into customs, and Rob, like you gave me Too Short and the A's owner, the name is escaping me at the moment.
Charlie Finley.
Like so cool. Like, and I love customs because it fills out the collection. I want to show you too because I live in Sandusky, Ohio. I don't know if y'all ever heard of Cedar Point. It's got all the roller coasters and all that.
Yeah. Talk about that.
That's like where I'm from. So like I want to like expand on a custom. So like these are 2 here. They're like Sandusky guys. This is Scott May. He was on the last undefeated college basketball team, Indiana University. He's from Sandusky. Nice. And then he's probably the greatest basketball player from Sandusky. And then this is my man, Big O, Orlando Pace.
Oh,
let's go.
So my man Ruben Bellisaro is one of my I got like 4 or 5 customizers. He made these pieces just like beautiful, like in their Sandusky. He's in his Olympic jersey, but this is the high school Sandusky Creek. So
that's awesome.
I think if
I
were going to keep doing it, I want to get customs. Like I love customs. I'm just, I got to shout out my dude, Bill Customs, who just put together this wonderful piece for me. Like I want Hank Aaron. I love Hank Aaron. So, and I realized like he was a Browns fan after he died. So my man Bill came out with this, like Hank Aaron, like did a football jersey.
That's fresh.
Yeah, dude. So and that's what I love. Like I love supporting other like small businesses, just me generally, and I love supporting the people that
And who made that? Who made that?
Ville Customs, Ville Customs. He's done about
here.
Yeah, he's done about 15 or 20. He's doing
yeah. I see him. Okay.
I bought a 3 Houston Astros because I'm turning to Rochester. My man Walter Cook, he does more customs. This is of Sandy Alomar when he won Rookie of the Year in 1990. He's got the piece and all that. Like, look at that. You'll appreciate like raised letters on the jersey.
Yeah. There we go.
Just like, sculpting. He had his own. He's like, man, I want some. He's like, and I don't care the price. Like, I'll pay it. So
that's awesome.
So as far as like teams, like I collect Cleveland obviously, but I also have the account Rochester Bobbleheads because I'm from Rochester. This is one of the first bobbleheads I ever had, Cal Ripken.
Let's go.
I know there's so many Cleveland collectors and there's so many great ones. Oh, shout out to my man Bobby Ullman, Ullman. He gave me all that halftime info. He's also on Instagram. So I want to be the greatest Rochester collector because Rochester's where I'm from. They got minor league teams. That's the Red Wings for the affiliate now of the Nationals.
Nice.
The Rochester Hammocks, the parent team of the Buffalo Sabres.
Very cool.
And then, the Sacramento Kings are originally from Rochester, so the Rochester Royals, the only professional championship in the city.
I got that right here, dude. I got that right here.
Hey, let's go.
That's a hard one to get, though, man.
That is hard. My dude Mark hooked me up with it in Ohio. So if I were to keep collecting, like I just want more customs to fill out, and like I want to be the greatest Rochester collector in the history of the world. Like that's my goal. So because that's what I'm
love it.
I still owe you an Eck duel from Cleveland and Oakland. That's the first thing we ever talked about. I still owe that to you.
That would be awesome.
I know. I thought it was pretty tight, dude. You got this though, dude. This is my Cleveland. I got this.
Yeah. So
right here, dude.
My friend Sarah Baker, she had one hers. See, that's the other thing too. People will give you bobbleheads.
Yeah.
She's cool. We used to work together. She gave me that one. It was on her desk for like years and a Fred Gordon too. So,
I was gonna try to make a BTS one because they had BTS wearing A's hats, and I was gonna try to do it, but I can't drill a. I was trying to drill a mirror in the base to put a mirror on it, but I can't figure out how to drill a hole in a mirror, so it's been a pain.
That's one of my
would be a nice custom would be since Andy's on the show and we're A's fans except for you, Bobblefoot, but you'd get it because you just get bobbleheads. Dennis Eckersley, Ray Fossey, the battery of the no-hitter. They were on the Indians when that happened. That'd be awesome.
I want that one now.
Yeah.
he just stepped up the level, the whole level of what he wants. That's tight. That'd be sick.
Get your own NorCal Nodders, Andy.
I know,
right?
I'm horrible.
Well, he has Bill. Bill's gonna do it for him.
Oh, Bill, yeah, dude. Bill's awesome. My guy. There's another guy I use. Oh man, what's his name? The name's escaping me off the top of my head. Oh geez. Oh, Brian. There's a guy named Brian in our Ohio group too. He does some really awesome customs. Selmox. So I try to shout it out. But of course, me and NorCal were talking last night. I want this dude to take over the A's marketing department and just put out like 35 bobbleheads a year.
Oh, dude. The funny thing, so we were talking about that, and also like you're talking about the giveaways for like. So in a way, you're still beating Oakland in terms of the giveaways and stuff, but you're treated a little bit similar. How Cleveland is market is a little bit, but like all the giveaways are on a Saturday, right?
Right.
And so that's the easiest time to get the crowds anyway. So why don't you throw some out during the week and stuff like that? Because you're talking like you have a part-time job or you do the DJing on weekends and stuff like that. Throw some bobbleheads during the week to get some people in there. I mean, it probably just turn to turnstiles, but at the same time, at least it's some activity,
Right.
Well, there's a question. There's a question. Somebody asked a question for Cleveland bobbleheads. Who is your go-to guy for securing weekend Cleveland bobbles?
Yo, I got to give a shout out to my dude, colleague, tag team partner, hype man. Well, I'm his hype man. Mark Hazelwood. The dude is the #1 Cleveland baseball fan in the history. We one of my best friends. He has season tickets, like I had 20 game plans to go and hook it up for me. So I got to give him the shout out. Oh, and Mark, you asked me for another story about like how I got to it. So like 4 years ago, I wasn't into it, right? And like I went to Seattle to watch the Indians play opening day up there. And they gave out a Robinson Cano bobblehead. I'm like, I don't want this shit. Like the dude's like, first of all, he's a cheater, overpaid, but they were giving away like free airline tickets. So I opened the box and my wasn't there. And then the first kid that walked by me, I'm like, here, take it. I don't want it. So
That's
Wow.
awesome.
Now that's a story.
Yeah.
I should have broke the head off it before I gave it to the kid.
You talking about Mark Hayes when he was on there asking when we were coming out, dude. I'm trying to get it out there. Oakland Cleveland game, dude. I'm hoping this year if the season gets going, I hope to get out there.
Dude, it's Cleveland. Cleveland's a great town. Like when the All-Star game came here 3 years ago, everybody, like the players, the media people, they love it because it's really easy to get around. Everything is kind of in like walking distance. You know, a lot of places to eat. There's a casino. We just went up there for my buddy's bachelor party a couple weeks ago. We went to a comedy club and then the casino. There's nightclubs. There's, you know, the Rock and Roll Museum, the Great Lakes Science Center, the sports stadiums. They're not right next to each other, but they're within walking distance. I mean, it's just, I love it. From where I'm at, it's an easy hour drive, so I'm there all the time, except on Saturday play Bobbleheads because I have to work. So.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
I caught a game. I think it was '98. I caught a game at Jacobs Field. It's called Progressive now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, '98. I was at Jacobs Field. I was on a road trip. I started at Cooperstown, New York, and drove back here to the Bay Area. But man, that was one of the best environments in baseball I've been to. I don't remember how good they were in '98. I think they were pretty good back then. Yeah,
they were real good. Between '94 to 2001, they were amazing.
Yeah, it was a really fun environment. I sat out in the right center field bleachers, had a great time in Cleveland.
Yeah, you
Nice.
got back. It's a great place, and people are like, you know, because like when you move from New York, they're like, why would you move to Ohio? And I feel people are like, why not? Like I never want to live anywhere else. So yeah.
All right, so I
That's
think
awesome.
we got some more questions here. Let me see here. Let's see. So, what do you want to see different done in the community? How about that? So, like, what do you see that kind of bothers you, and you'd like to see, you know, like, I don't know, anything bothering you or anything like?
Yeah. So
you and I kind of have a similar philosophy. Go ahead.
Right. So the one thing that bothers me is I hate it when people buy first of all, I love the Foco bobbleheads. I have a Foco Shane Bieber back here. I won't get it because I got to lift my butt up and I'm too lazy, right?
No, you're good.
I hate when people buy the Foco bobbleheads and sell them for like 5 times the amount on eBay. That's my number one pet peeve. Because you're not making it accessible for the collector. You're effectively, you know, price gouging people out of it. And, you know, it's going to be like that this coming week for whether the Bengals or the Rams win the Super Bowl.
Right.
I don't know, Bobble, are you a Rams fan or no?
No.
Okay. So, like, what if you were, I'm sure you got people that are Rams fans and, like, they're going to want the bobbleheads. And, well, the other thing is, too, and, you know, our dude, Dr. Bobble, talked about this, too. Like, I love how I you know, of course I want Cleveland to win a World Series, but like in a way I'm thankful because I'd have to drop like $4,000 to buy all these bobbleheads.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I think those are like my two. The latter not so much, but the first was like I hate seeing people buy them and sell, but it's impossible. How do you police that? You can't. It's impossible. So
I mean,
limiting 2 per purchase, but still, it's.
yeah. I mean, it's easy to make bot accounts. It's easy to make separate accounts to have people buy multiple amounts or whatnot, and it's one of those things where, you know, I think it was the very first episode I talked about it. It's like if you are that collector, you have to wake up on time, you have to be by your phone, you have to be by next to your computer, whatever you wherever you make your purchases from, and it's like, you know, if you really want that bobblehead, you know it's about to drop, just, you know, make the time for it. I think that's the only way that honestly real true collectors can you know, get their hands on these very limited bobbleheads, and it does suck. You know, it does suck that there are people that are going to price gouge and all that, and I understand the hustle behind it as well. But then it just kind of unmotivates the community. You know, it's like, what's the point of even trying to get this bobblehead now? And I get it, but then again, well, go ahead.
That when the World Series, like, did you have to buy?
Oh man, it was bad. It was bad. And then like all the different type of bobbleheads that they made, the special edition of this, and then those Dodger jerseys, you know, from the championship all the way until like the middle of the season, and knowing that I'm not even going to have these bobbleheads in my hands until who knows when, it's like it's unmotivating as a collector However, once I know I obtain those pieces, it's like, oh crap, like here we go again. That that bobble high is gonna come up again or whatnot. But it depends on the collector. At the end of the day, it does suck, but we as collectors know what we're getting into. I think what we have to change, in my opinion, is how we educate people on how to collect their bobbleheads, what to look out for, how to spend their money on what pieces the right way. Because a lot of these guys who um, they had bobbleheads for last year that were Dodgers, guess what? They're not Dodgers anymore.
Yeah.
And their value drops tremendously.
Yeah.
And I'm
Really?
sure that goes with all sports.
Like a Corey Seager would value.
A Corey Seager, you're gonna find all the people don't. I'm telling you, I'm glad Corey Seager left. I'm sad he left, but I'm glad he left. Me as a Dodger fan, I'm sad he left. As a bobblehead collector, I'm glad he left because now all those Corey Seager pieces, if it's not a rare piece, guess what? They're selling for half the price.
Really?
Same thing with, yeah, oh yeah, 100%.
Damn.
Wow.
That's crazy,
Wow.
dude.
Yeah, I look, I wasn't even gonna tell this story, but I'll say it anyways. So the Ogden Raptor Corey Seager bobblehead, not a lot of people want to buy it anymore. They want to buy the Cody Bellinger. It's a two-piece mini series, and I saw them go up on sale on eBay just recently, and it went for like pennies to the cents. People did not want to buy those Corey Seagers, but then I see a lot of resellers upselling the price. So and people are very uncomfortable with buying on eBay sometimes if they're not a real collector. But if you're a Dodgers fan, you're like, okay, if you don't know about the bobblehead game, they're like, okay, I'd rather buy from someone that I know on Instagram or on Facebook as opposed to buying from someone on eBay.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, that's the risk you take at the end of the day.
I never thought that the value would drop if the player leaves, like immediately after that. That would have never.
It depends. It depends on which player, though. Depends on which player. But I see a lot of Corey Seager stuff dropping in value. I've seen it firsthand. I know a lot of like his championship stuff will still be, high value. Like if it's a championship World Series ball, if it's a championship World Series jersey, if it's part of a set with the championship stuff. But all this other stuff, it'll drop in price for sure, and it has.
The funny thing, like in the crowd, the Sandlot bring up. At least you guys get some respect from your owners, both of you two. At least you have like we get treated like trash, dude. Like
Yeah.
we can't even get the players that. Honestly, we would still take a Marcus Semien bobblehead right now. He is not here. He's been gone for 2 years now. I still think they could give that away. People would be happy.
What do you think the reason is for that?
The reason is for way we're treated or way that the ownership is, you mean?
Why is it, bobbleheads are universally popular across MLB, and Oakland had done them for 20 years. So what's the reason?
The regime in the front office changed. This is how I feel. I don't know, but Mark 510 answer is, but I feel it's a regime. So Dave Cabell, the president, does not like us as fans. He just does not like us. Like, and it's cheap for them.
He's a piece of shit.
Yeah, he is. And he can,
just be blunt.
They can print t-shirts there at the stadium, so we get a lot of t-shirts, and then we're getting a Funko Pop, and I feel like they're trying to do everything other than give us what we actually want. Anything else they can do, they're gonna do, but except for what we really want. I don't know. What do you think, Mark?
Beyond being a piece of shit.
I mean,
Right.
I know. Didn't I already say I'm scooping my son some ice cream here? Well, I'm trying to multitask.
Well, they're saying like it's ownership's cheap as hell. It doesn't matter. The bobbleheads don't cost the ownership anything. It's the
They don't.
pays for the
They don't.
bobblehead.
Put this back in the freezer.
So
I don't think that in the A's case, especially right now, I don't think it has anything to do with money. I think it has everything to do with the ownership group, really led by Dave Cabell, the piece of shit, trying to prove a point to Major League Baseball and to the city of Oakland that the Oakland Coliseum isn't a viable place to continue to play baseball in. And so by doing little things like skyrocketing ticket prices 60%, I mean, our ticket prices now are going to be higher than Giants tickets in a gorgeous ballpark. although I hate that place too. But but no bobbleheads. No, I mean, like all that stuff is like keeping people away, and that helps fuel their what's the word I want to validation that Oakland needs a new ballpark, which we already know it does. Like, no shit, Sherlock. But you don't have to like alienate the fans as you do it either, and that's what's frustrating. That's just what I believe. I think that's the whole reason.
I'm gonna say a point, and then I'm gonna segue to a question from my Oakland guys, because there were talks that I know Oakland's still at risk of losing their team, and kind of Cleveland was too. There were some talks that within the next 2 years. Now this isn't a case anymore. That the stadium lease was up, the cable deal was up, and something else was up. 3 big things. And the Cleveland, right when the name change, they extended the lease to Progressive Field for like another 30 years or so. And I'm thinking to myself, you could change the team name all you want, just keep my baseball team in my city.
Yeah.
And I want to help understand, like, and you both are family men. Like, how important is that the A's stay in Oakland, not only for yourselves, but like for generations to come, and then just the city itself, like how important that is? Help us understand that.
I don't know. I guess I answer. To me, the city without the A's is nothing. There's nothing left. They lost the Raiders. They lose all identity. There's nothing left there to go there. I'll be honest with you. It's full of homeless, and it's gonna turn anything that's been. You know how cities, they do their downtown revitalization, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's where they're putting this. They're trying to put this park, right? They call it Jack London Square, Howard Terminal, but Jack London Square area. But if that doesn't go there, all it is a shipping port, and with a ton of homeless. That's all that's going to be left in Oakland, because they're going to lose all the redevelopment that they already put into it, and there's no reason for anybody to stay there. You know what I mean? There's zero. When you can go to San Jose, or you can go to San Francisco and get all the nice luxury stuff. I mean, look at the Warriors over there now. Everything's gone. You know what I mean? And the Raiders are gone. The A's are gone. But the A's fit the personality of the city really, really well, and the whole East Bay. It fits the mold. I mean, what it 100%. It lives where it lives is what it is. It's the weirdest recognition of people I've ever seen. You know what I mean? And not that it doesn't exist in other cities, but to me, what the A's are, what you see the A's are, that's exactly what the city is. That's exactly how the city is. And so, and it's a heartbeat. And so, if the A's go, that heartbeat's gone. There's nothing there. There's zero reason to go to Oakland after that, in my opinion. Like it's a shit city without it. So so that's just my opinion.
Yeah, Mark? I mean, I don't know that I can say that any better. I mean, I guess, to answer your question, I don't even know how to answer that. Like, it would be tragic if they were gone, to me. There's not, a big joke amongst, especially with like Giants fans, but really throughout baseball, is like the A's don't draw. Not a lot of people go to the games, and I don't necessarily believe that. I think a lot of that has to do with the way that they've been treated by ownership and the conditions of the stadium right now. But I think they would draw big if they had a nice shiny new park. But it would just be, I mean, really, man, like, I when I was thinking about what I would say, I was thinking about you showing your dad's bobblehead, your dad's first bobblehead. And like, for me personally, and I'm sure for a lot of A's fans, like, that's our home. Like, that's, we grew up going to that park. For me, I've been going since literally I was born at the end during the playoffs. So the next year, I mean, since I was 1 year old, I've been going to the Oakland Coliseum. It's all I know. It's all my kid knows. He's 7.5. He's probably been to over 100 games already. It would just be tragic if they were to leave. So
let me ask
hopefully they can figure that shit out, because they got to get
that. As a Cleveland fan, I can sympathize with you. Bobble, I can't, because y'all are awful. Your Yankees well. But so, like, I know, Oakland seems like they're going to go in this valley now because, the better players, the Chapman, Olsen, Minaya, they're getting into those, like, higher salaries. So, obviously, they're going to have to start trading some of these guys. So, is that going to, the next couple of years, where you believe that, they're going to have minor leaguers come back and they're going to take time for them to develop? Is this going to be more leverage for Caval and the other executives to move out of Oakland because you're going to think they're not going to be a plus 500 team probably. So what are the thoughts there? And does that give them more of an opportunity to say we want to leave now because the team's not going to be playoff bound? Or does that not have an effect on anything?
What do you think, Mark?
I don't think so. I mean, if you look back at the history of the Athletics franchise, forget about just the last 30 plus years or 50 plus years in Oakland. You go back to Philly, Kansas City. I mean, it's been a cycle of ownership groups not investing a lot in the team and going an economical route. This is just the way it is for the A's. Like they draft well historically. They develop well. They sign good players on the cheap. And as soon as they hit stardom, they jettison them, whether it's by trade or they leave as free agents. And
talking about Oakland or talking about Cleveland? I can't tell.
I know. It's funny. I mean, really, like we have a ton of parallels as a fan base because, I mean, really, we have the same pain. Like our both of our ownership groups let our best players go, and we don't reach the promised land. We don't win at all. So
I don't know what you've been reading, Andy, but we're getting Kyler Murray back. So I don't know. So you might want to go check his Instagram. He's no longer a Cardinal, so don't worry about it. We're okay now.
So that's what I'm saying. Like without these superstars, like if the team loses 100 games for the next 3 years, like I think that's gonna
different mentality here. Way different thing.
Okay.
It's not like a Yankee type situation or even Dodger where you guys have to have a star. We expect the Mats to go. We expect it's stuff we expect to happen. So
what sucks about it is like the Matt Olsons, the Sean Manaeas, Bassett, like those guys. Right now, we're supposed to be in the window where they were going to be developed, they were going to come up, they were going to reach their prime, and now we were going to be opening our new stadium and winning World Series titles. And now that obviously that didn't happen, we haven't built a new stadium. Obviously, COVID threw that back quite a bit, anyways. But having to rebuild, having to lose, 100 games for 3+ years, whatever it is, that's all with the intent of having new players that are going to be studs ready to go when Oakland opens its new stadium in 2028. Hopefully. I mean, we've been watching the same movie for 20 years.
Mark, like your kids, all they know is Olsen,
Billy.
So that's difficult when they go because like your kids, they don't understand that that's the business of baseball.
Right. Nah, my daughter's a little bit older, but when we lost Coco, that you can see the transition. You know what I mean? But he retired, but at the same time, at least that for my family, we're able to see that. You know what I mean? Kind of but that was different. I shouldn't say it like that because but even when Donaldson left and this and that, I mean, that kind of transitions in there. You can kind of get the grasp of how it works kind of thing. So you get used to it. It's more about the crowd. I mean, I go now, we just go to, I hang out with Mark and I hang out with Sandlot and on the bleachers and have a good time. And
I've seen Sandlot on TV before.
Oh yeah. He's like a freaking celebrity, dude.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is me being a Dodger fan, and fun fact, I used to spend a lot of time in Oakland, in the Bay Area, out in San Jacinto, San Leandro, out in I was out there a lot. It was like my second home. And I used to go to a lot of Oakland games. I used to go to a lot of Giant games and all that stuff. I hated the Giant Stadium just because of the rivalry between the Dodgers and the Giants. So like all the hatred and like these like I left it over there. And then when I went to the Oakland games, I'll hyphy. I was just getting hyphy with you guys. It was a vibe. Yeah. And when I go to an A's game, it's like I kind of feel almost like at home. And it might sound funny, but like. Old Dodger Stadium before the whole revamp of the stadium, which is absolutely beautiful. It's like, that old school, like we're getting into baseball. It's that rugged feel. It's like I'm here to just hang out with the boys. Yeah. Hang out with the fans. Hang out with, and it's a whole different feel. I think every single stadium that you guys visit, it's a different feel, a different vibe. just depending on the fans.
Yeah.
You know, me going to an Oakland Dodgers game, guess what? I was well received.
Yeah.
And it was fun. It was just about baseball. Now, when I went to a Giants game,
Oh,
man, that was it. Like, yo, it's on. Let me make sure my shoes are on, my shoelaces are on pretty tight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's dangerous,
so
bro.
Is it really?
Oh,
Now.
the Giants one's dangerous shit.
it
Dude.
gets nutty. It gets nutty. It's fun, but you know, it's with all due respect, obviously. You know what I mean? If you go looking for trouble, you're gonna get trouble. That's just what it is.
Yeah,
Even at Dodger Stadium, there's a lot of knuckleheads that get drunk, and it's not even bad at Dodger Stadium. I've seen a bunch of stuff happen, but it's just like the media likes to, you know, and social media likes to twist stories and all that stuff. And, you know, unfortunately, the whole thing with Brian Stowe happened. But, you know, when a Dodger fan was murdered out there in San Francisco, we didn't hear anything about it.
Well, we heard it here.
Crickets.
We
You
heard
know
it.
what I mean?
happen
Like,
in
no
San
one said
Francisco, that's
anything about it. So it just, you know, if you go out there with the intentions of looking for that stuff, and if, you know, if you're going to talk back, but you know where you're at, hey, you better keep, you know, hey, that's on you, you know? So just, I mean, I go out there and I have fun and I talk my shit and to Giants fans like crazy, and I just don't care because I know I can talk shit back, you know?
Yeah.
But it depends on the person. And if you're there for fun, if you're there with family, you will get the respect if you give the respect back, you know? So it depends.
Sure. I was at the A's Giants over there in San Francisco, and there was Dodgers fighting. There was Giants fans fighting the Dodger fans at the A's at the Battle of the Bay series over there. Like
Jesus.
You guys
come to Cleveland, talk shit.
Let's go.
So what is Cleveland's, like, does Cleveland have a rivalry with, like, the Tigers or the Sox or anything? Or?
I would say it's more football. It's the Steelers and the Ravens.
Right.
The baseball, it's like anybody. It's like with Oakland. It's like we hate the Yankees. Like I get, like when the Yankees come to Oakland, us, like that's what it is. And I would say that's Cleveland. Now, you wouldn't consider Cleveland a rival, but I would consider Cleveland's biggest rival to be Yankees. Like I don't consider the Tigers, the White Sox, the Twins. I really don't, because they've never. It's weird. Cleveland's division. The two teams never been good for that long. It's Tigers were a little bit, and everybody else was bad. And then the Twins were good, and everybody else was bad.
Right.
So not really.
Nobody ever dominates the Central.
But Cleveland fans, we hate Yankees, we hate Red Sox, we hate Blue Jays. They're cool. Dodgers are like whatever because they never play the Dodgers. But
I always like the Dodgers.
They hate the Cubs because they beat it in the World Series.
Oh yeah. How did you guys lose that, dude?
I'm a Dodger supporter.
They weren't the better team. Cleveland, you know, if you looked in that series, they never blew a lead, Cleveland. And, you know, 3-1's not impossible. I mean, teams blow 3-1 leads. It's not rare. And Chicago just was the better team. And, you know, it made me upset, but it's like, what are you going to do? Chicago was the better team. I go to bed at night sleeping like, you know, Cody Allen never blew a save in that game. And it's just, you know, what are you going to do? I mean, that was
such a good World Series.
Just like I went to all the games, I was outside. My buddy Mark went in. He had media access, but I'll never trade that experience. Bobble, I mean, even though it was kind of weird with COVID a couple of years ago, like those games you probably never forget. You know, Norco, it was, you know, about 30 years ago. But, you know, you all probably have memories of being childs when Oakland won and how great that was. So.
Yeah, long time ago.
For sure. And the other
I think we got one last follow-up question, right? Mark, you got one last one? I think you already answered this, though.
Yeah, it was pretty much answered. I wanted to ask, and I think I know the answer now, but do you prefer SGA to retail and why? Or retail and why?
I love both equally. Like, I love retail because attention to detail is so amazing. Like, the face is on point, the awards. Like, I'm looking at my Beaver back here. I love it. But like the SGAs, like the past couple of years, the retails have gotten a little bit more creative about like what they've done. They used to be, you know, back in the day, the same kind of pose, the same kind of basis. Now they're being a little bit more creative, and that's kind of like what the SGA was. But the SGAs are cool because you still get in there and you still get that high of waiting for it, getting the bobblehead, showing it off. I guess if you had to put a gun to my head, I would say SGA only because there's still more SGA and they're less pricey. But I love the retail. I'm not like one or the other. I love collecting both. But obviously, a NorCal custom is far and away 1A.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna get
Let's
a
go.
Cleveland piece in there. I'll get a Cleveland combo Oakland kind of piece in there. We'll
All
get
right.
one in your collection, dude. I promise.
All right, cool. So,
All right, so we want to take some questions from the.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to do here? Let's take.
Yeah, let's take some. We'll take some questions from the chat.
Yeah.
If you guys want to go ahead and ask. By the way, we peaked today. Thank you guys once again for tuning in. We hit 30 people. That's amazing.
Wow, that's awesome.
So thank you guys for doing this. Thank you for tapping in and tuning in with us. It means the absolute world to every single one of us. And you're the reason. Every single one that is in here, you guys are the reason why we keep doing this, and we want to keep doing this for you all. And if there's anything that you guys would love to see, let us know. Seriously, let us know. We're taking suggestions, and we're just several guys here just collecting and have a passion about what we do. And we love meeting new people. We love meeting, big collectors, small collectors, new collectors, all collectors from all over the place. So we're going to open up the chat to any questions, please.
Yeah, and we saw some earlier. Actually, I didn't know there was a question section, but there's a thing. So Sandlot wanted to tell you that he loves you, Andy, and he asked you if you'll run for the Cleveland mayor.
I write about politics. I'm not getting in politics, but Sandlot, I need to get some pins from you, dude, because I think the first time I talked with Sandlot, like, he told me, like, will you donate to some charity? Rob, you were a part of that, I think. And I'm like, okay, sure. I donated like $20 to, like, I think it was like the Cleveland NAACP chapter or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, me and Sandlot were talking, we were just, and I'll just like three-way you guys on Twitter just when I see something random or whatever. Like when I hugged Stomper a couple years ago at the All-Star game, looked like the guy. So, but no, Sandlot, I appreciate what you do for the Oakland community, man. You're like you're your own spirit animal, effectively. So,
dude, it's great to see Drop Strike 3 in here. That's the Philly collection, dude. That's sick, dude. I'm glad to see that. That was good to see. Let's see what we got. We got any questions? You guys see some questions in the chat here? I missed some here, I think.
Has Andy seen the Jobu banner?
Yeah.
That's another bobblehead I've been trying to get. All those Jobus, I have several of them, but not the original one the first one that they gave out.
Rob will be right back with something awesome.
Yeah, I have a couple, but they're in boxes somewhere.
You ain't got the 3 foot.
Yeah, no.
The 3 foot Oakland one, dude.
Big flex, watch out.
Yo, bartender.
Jesus.
there's a minor league team, single A, Lake County, and they keep putting out Jobu after Jobu, like they're over market. And it's so funny in our Facebook group when another Jobu comes out, everybody's like over it, like, oh my God, you're gonna oversaturate the market more with these Jobu Ballwoods. But Jobu is the man. Like, that is just like Mark, you know, Major League, like that dude just like, gives you that inspiration of to hit it one out the park.
Epic character, man.
So you got a question? You running out of space yet? We kind of talked about you doing expansion here. You got a big wall coming up, right? What do you?
Yeah, I'm gonna get 3 more because, dude, I got them like look at this. I got them all lined up on my ground here, like all on the ground. Like I need, like, this is embarrassing. It's so bad. So.
Mike with Yankee Jets fan, he wants to know what's your most expensive bobblehead in your collection.
Oh God, it's probably the John Adams. I spent $200 on it. But like I was telling you, like with the Cleveland Indians, Statue of Liberty, $1,000 easy. The Apple on Parade, another $1,000 easy. Bobblehead, you were talking about that Charlie Sheen, Ricky Vaughn, the Washington, I forget what they called it, the Washington Wild things.
Mm-hmm.
$1,000 easy. So, well, yeah, I don't have, Jake Taylor, $600, but
Yep.
I would, that John Adams, like, I feel like I got a good deal on it. Like that, those go for like $300. I have a Bob Hope Cleveland that cost me about $175. So, so those are probably some of the more expensive. Luckily, I don't think Cleveland's are that expensive generally. But I mean, like any team, there are going to be some higher priced ones for sure.
And then, you already answered Sandlot. I missed your answer on the mayor. You said you was right about the politics. But next thing is, Who should Akron do next in the Major League Series?
I think they got to do. I forget the guy's name, but the Asian player where he breaks the bat over his head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good call.
All right, but I'm gonna break some news. I heard from a reliable source that the next Major League in Akron, which Akron does some of the best bobbleheads of any team each year. They really do a great job. It's going to be Rachel Phelps, the disgruntled owner.
With removable,
that'd be good.
With removable puzzle piece dress.
Yeah. So I hope I don't get in trouble. I'm not going to say who told me, but they haven't released it yet. But yeah, there's good talk that it's going to be Rachel Phelps, which is a good choice.
That's awesome.
I was literally just going to say that would be a great piece if you could like magnetically take off parts of her dress.
Oh God, that would have to.
I wouldn't want. I mean, I wouldn't want that. I'm a family man.
Right.
But
I also think they got to do the fan and the bleach, the heckler.
Yeah.
And I forget his name. Randy Quinn.
Yeah.
I feel like they
Who
got
gives a shit? It's gone.
So, but I think so far, like they've only done like the people from the first movie. Like if you notice, nobody like the catcher, Rue Baker, like
right.
They have an Asian player that cracks the bat over his head.
Yep.
So Parkman, like they haven't done Jack Parkman. He was the guy that went to the White Sox. So
yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna expand, but like I said, like people would get them. Like people love the Major League bobbleheads because it's just like the not our guy Sandlot, but the Sandlot movie. Like that's why in Peanuts I was talking about them earlier. Like they did Snoopy last year. That was the most popular Indians SGA of last year, and they're doing Charlie Brown and Woodstock this year. So there's demand for it for sure.
Yeah, no, that's legit, dude. But Sandlot also wanted to let you know he's dominating the damn questions, but he also wanted to tell you that he loves you.
I love you too, man. I'm gonna come out there and I'm gonna be yelling WTF with you. So. I gotta give my girl Jackie. What up, Jackie?
What up, Jackie?
What up, Jackie?
Jackie.
She's one of my most loyal followers and friends. So, yeah.
We got some talking here doing a raffle. I think that's a pretty good idea. I think we need to explore that. I think that'd be a good idea to get our fans, not fans, the viewers kind of involved, and something we definitely need to look into and get kind of going, because I got a shit ton of stuff I can get rid of. So I think that'd be a good one.
Same. Yeah, box of popsicle heads.
I don't,
dude. And I still gotta get rid of those. I gotta go through all those hockey ones, but yeah, I got it.
I have a bunch of stuff right here to my right. I'm afraid to show you guys.
Show us.
But I'll do it. I'll do it if you guys really want me to. But I'm afraid to show you guys.
Yeah.
But I will.
I want to see it. Damn.
Okay.
Damn. We're gonna give all that away or what?
We'll see. but I have a whole closet just for bobbleheads that I receive in the mail. I don't have room for, and I just store in here. And it's packed from the ground up and all the way deep in. It's like 3 rows, and then it just stacks all the way up to the very top. Like I play Tetris with it, and I don't even know what the square footage is, but it's a lot of stuff that it's all doubles.
That's good.
Yeah.
We need to get that.
Right? Corey Seager, Jock Peterson, all those guys, man. You know? Yeah, but
all right, we got any more questions in here? I'm trying to see if I catch anything. Sorry, I'm running through. I didn't take notes on some of that. A Pat Vendetti duel. That's with the dual pitching arms. That'd be sick.
Yeah, hard pass.
You want to see it, Yankee? Hold on, let me show Mike again. It's a
Damn.
Yeah. It's a bunch. It's a lot.
It reminds me
it's embarrassing, but you know what? It's all good. I know they're very secure, and no, it's not a bobble avalanche because I know how to play Tetris. I'm a Tetris king, and I stacked everything really nicely. So, and it's snug.
All right. So, and then I had a question that kind of surprised. I kind of get some feedback on the chat too. What about we've talked about possibly going over to like a YouTube live at some point, something like that. What about, we think viewers, would you guys be interested in following us onto that or something? I don't know. Just trying to get some different ideas. I know I'm kind of springing this on everybody, but we talked about that. What do you think, Andy? You like that?
Yeah, I think I know y'all what you guys are doing is so great, and you're just spring up this route. And the more you're always going to be like, some people go to YouTube, some people go to Facebook, some people stay on Instagram. So whatever you guys think would be good. I think people, obviously the more platforms, the probably more viewers you're going to get.
Yeah. I'm actually even currently streaming on Twitch right now. That's my thing. I'm streaming on Twitch, but I'm sending all the viewers from Twitch over here so that we can have a party in here as well. We're exploring different options.
Yeah, just trying to get to whatever, I mean, I love, and Andy, thank you again for coming on today. I mean, this is a big deal, when we first talked about doing guests and stuff like that and doing things like this, we have to trust the guests just as much as we have to trust ourselves. So it's not like we didn't want to bring people on real fast, but, we started talking about like horror stories and like getting canceled for this and that and like stuff like that. So we have to be careful a little bit, what I mean? Because we're not a podcast where we can go back and, cut stuff out.
It's alive. It's alive. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you. Cause I told, like Andy, we can trust Andy, and you're good at everything that you do and stuff. So it's a big deal for us. And we got some more guests coming in that I think not going to have too much trouble with, but, as we get down the road, there's going to be some stuff that's going to be a little bit scary, I feel. So
I feel like you guys got to get on Bobble Sniper. I feel like even if he doesn't have his face, even if he's like talking like this, because
I know.
I think Bobble Sniper has to be absolutely on here, and I think he would do it. I really want to hear how he got in the hobby, how he stayed in the hobby. He had some challenges about a year ago, and he came back. I'd be so interested to hear his story, and I think you three have the perfect platform personalities to definitely ask him about that. And I think a lot of people would love to hear him talk about it. And in return, he could help grow because he has an audience like no other.
Right.
Right.
I agree.
We've talked about it. We've talked about it.
Yeah. No, and I'll approach him because I think he's paying attention and I think we'd love for it. I mean, we're not a threatening group. I mean, we're here to let talk about whatever. And so I think it's about as good as opening or a platform to talk about whatever you want to talk about in the way you can be. And we're not, like I said, we're not threatening. We control things pretty good. So I think it'd be pretty good.
I mean, love them or hate them, whoever the person may be. Yeah, I think everyone. We'd be honored to have here on this platform. Everyone's welcome. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I've been blocked before for no reason, and I've said it the first episode. It's like I've never met several people, and someone told me, "Hey, go check this person out." Next thing you know, I go and I'm blocked from that person. I'm like, I've never talked to this guy before. Like, what happened? And but it is what it is. People are gonna have a difference of opinions towards everyone, and it is what it is. It's okay. But no, we would love to have them, 100%.
Yeah, so I'll reach out, and I think at some point, I think we wanted to show that we can do guests like this and stuff like that, and again, you're great, and so I really do appreciate you coming on with Andy.
I'm bowing down to y'all. I appreciate y'all having me on here. And then the one other guy I know I mentioned before, I want to hear Patriot Bobblehead story too.
Oh,
I got to hear that guy's story. Like, I would be so interested to know. How he became a fan of the Patriots in Ireland, or I think that's where he lives, Ireland.
Yeah. I want to bring him on, but right now it's like 4:00 in the morning right now, so I gotta adjust the time to get.
He can wake his ass up with it.
Right?
I'll reach out. I actually did want to bring it up to him and talk to him because I love what he's doing and where he is. I mean, that's so hard to do, and I absolutely. That's one person I do really want to talk to.
And the other guy I definitely think should be on here, and I mentioned him also, is Nia Bobblehead guy, the St. Louis. Rob, you got what you have for Oakland. I think this guy has St. Louis. I don't know too much about his personal story, but just looking at his posts, I feel like he would be very interesting. So those are 3 people I definitely want to see on there.
Yeah. No, we're definitely, and we're gonna talk a different level, different. I want to talk to everybody. I mean, I like to talk to somebody that's kind of newer to it and stuff like that, and wants to hop on and just shoot the breeze with us a little bit because, it's tough, man. And we all got here. We're all where we're at because we know other. I mean, it's a network. Yeah, after a time, we know each other. I mean, even when we started popping on, I mean, we didn't know each other, but we figured each other out pretty well. You know what I mean? And out of respect and this and that. But you still have to network in a way. I mean, you can't get to everything that you want without doing that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, and I'd like to hear somebody, you know, in I don't know what stage, you know, middle stages or early stages of collecting. That's really what I want to hear some of that too, because I remember, you know, doing all that crap, and I was really quiet when I started. I didn't talk to anybody. I just kept my nose down and just learned and everything else. And then one day I decided, let's show everything, and then I guess I learned pretty well. So, anyways.
Well, you're a TV star. I mean, your collection was on national.
Oh yeah, huge, yeah, big time. Yeah, local TV with no host. I had to host myself, so
that was
because
great.
of COVID. So I had to sit and walk around, and like it was a weird thing, man. But it was cool.
You did good. You did good.
Yeah,
it worked all right. We're going back on here pretty soon. Once I get my rest of my office done, we're going back on pretty soon, so it'll be good. Cool. All right.
Wait.
All right, boys. Well, I anything else you guys want to talk about? Go over. We had one more question, but I don't know. It's 704, which is one of our Oakland guys. He wanted to know what makes you more excited, opening day or first SGA.
Opening day for me.
I know, me too.
Opening day for me, 100%.
Easily.
All right,
100%.
I don't like to go to opening day, but opening day, yes.
You don't like to go to it?
You know what? You know what sucks about opening day? I've never been to one.
Really?
And when I finally bought season tickets, guess what? COVID hit.
Yeah.
I like going the second day when nobody's there.
Yeah.
But opening night?
The excitement of opening day is pretty fun. It really is.
Yeah.
I don't work today. I literally stay home and watch baseball all day. So
it's a freaking holiday, man. Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, I want to thank you again, Andy. I thank you like 10 billion times, but I want to thank you again. It's a big deal, to me. Mark, why don't you pimp out? You got some? Or anything you want to endorse or anything you want to give a shout out? Anything, Andy? Anything you got promoting? Anything like that?
No, I appreciate y'all, and I would love to come back on if y'all would have me back on again after
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, for
probably
sure.
not though.
Doesn't look promising at this point. I'll be honest with you.
No more DJs. That's it. We're done. It's over.
I'll tell you what. Even if I don't come back on, I'm gonna watch every single episode.
I'm just playing with you, dude.
Andy, you were awesome.
We'd love to have you back.
Because I literally love this. I think what you guys are doing is amazing for the community. And like I said, how Bobble Slade was a public servant, like you guys are becoming community servants as well. Just like giving platform to talk about the hobby, bringing people on, exposing collections, talking about things, what to do, what not to do, because and it is important. And we want to welcome more people to collecting and showing off what they have. So I really appreciate what you three are doing, creating this community, and I think it's really going to blossom into something very special. And I'm just happy to be one of your most ardent fans of it. So,
thank you, Andy.
Appreciate that.
It's something different, something new. We're here to help and support and to spread our, our philosophy, just like your philosophy, same thing. I really want to be helpful. I want to help other people. I want to grow everything and do everything right. And you don't want to see anybody fail, and you want to try to avoid stuff. So, anyways, yeah.
Just Houston Astros fans.
Huh?
Just Houston Astros fans.
Yeah,
I don't mind seeing them fail.
Yeah.
They can go suck it.
I got some autographed baseballs, guys. Each one just as a thank you. Some random. They're Hall of Famers, but they're random. I'm going to send them to you guys. I got a whole box.
I have a box of goodies for you. I still have to send out. But
all right, so just PM me your addresses because I'll send you all just a little thank you for me coming on the show.
You're the man, Andy. Thank you very much.
You're the best. You're the best.
Mark, you want to pimp out? You got Stash and Bash there, dude?
Yeah, dude. For sure. Thanks. Little pin company that I started, Stash and Bash, my boy and I. STACHE. I'll put it in the comments, but check us out on our Etsy store. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. Just a fun way to make some A's pins and give a little bit back to the community as well. So one of the pins we got on there right now is for Ray Fossey. I don't have it handy, but it's a Ray Fossey pin. We're donating the proceeds back to local cancer foundation in his memory. It's fun. It's a pretty cool thing. So
Yeah, we got a really good thing going here in Oakland.
I'm gonna buy one. I'm gonna buy one.
Yep.
We got some really, you know, with the lack of team participation and lack of merchandise, we've really come together as a group and done some really unusual stuff and kind of unique, and so it's really good stuff. And so thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Bobble, you want to talk about your Twitch or something, dude, man?
Well, yeah, I'm currently streaming. So my alter ego, I guess you could say. Now, my acronym, also known as, I'm also my other moniker is DocRocks13 on Twitch.
Yeah.
I primarily do community streamings. Same thing with the Twitch platform. And I also play a lot of Call of Duty stuff on there. And we do customs. We bring, you know, a bunch of people from all over the world. It's an interesting platform. You're able to reach people from here in the States and everywhere in the world, which has been an amazing experience thus far. So if you guys ever are interested in tuning in on Twitch, I am on Twitch. I stream every Wednesday through Sunday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
His Twitch is one of the best to go on to. I mean, I love it, man. And you're an entertainer, bro. I just love your streams, man. I love it. I pop in every so often, but I love what you do, and it's good stuff, man. I love it.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
I just want to, my website, NorCalNotters.com. Pretty soon I'll be dropping some more bobbleheads. All the profits going to charity. I got 2 coming, about 5 or 6 this year coming out. So NorCalNotters.com. So
let's go.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
All right,
thank
boys,
you for joining.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you guys.
Take care.
Thank
Bye.
you.
See you later. Bye, Andy.
Bye.